beautiful friends. It is so good to be with you again. Yes, we have this interesting topic to discuss today. 7 warning signs you might be having parasites. And of course, the natural ways you can get rid of them. A lot of times it happens, of course, that we have these symptoms here and there and we don't really pay attention to them. But when we have a pattern of signs and the body always speaking to us, we should not ignore what our body is saying. And sign number 1 is, of course, our digestive issues, because our gut is like our second brain. And when something's not right in our gut, everything goes wrong. And things like bloating, gas, diarrhea, digestive pains and stomach growling and things like that, that could be the sign that something is there. Sign number 2, we would always feel tired, and this is something that is so many people experiencing. Even after a good night of sleep, we wake up and we already feel tired. And what happens is those parasites that living in our body, they are feeding on our nutrients that are meant for us, but they're stealing them and leave our body to constantly feel tired. Sign number 3 is our skin issues, and a lot of times it would be occasional breakouts with no reason, seems to be. It would be rashes, itchiness, especially in the private areas, especially during the full moon, because that's when they become really, really active. Eczema, different breakouts on the skin, on our body, on our face, even things like rosacea absolutely could mean that there is something living inside you that you need to get rid of. Because what happens with parasites' life cycle, they give a lot of waste products, and those are toxins, those are different heavy metals, pathogens, and that creates really horrible atmosphere inside of our body. That creates a lot of inflammation and disruption of different systems in our body, and even pain. Sign number 4 is we have those mood swings, and for us ladies, we could explain it by our cycle, but if we think deeper, it could be just out of nowhere. We have this mood swings, we have this anxiety, and sometimes it even leads to depression, because parasites deplete our serotonin level, and our serotonin is our feel-good hormone, and it is responsible for a lot of things that's happening in our body. So if someone steals your serotonin, that's where you find yourself upset with mood swings, anxiety, and just not feeling great. Sign number 5 is our insomnia, our sleep disturbances. It's when we struggle to stay asleep at night, when we wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and then struggling to fall back asleep. And that's my personal problem that I had for so long, and I cannot even express my happiness of how good I sleep right now after this wonderful, wonderful cleanse that I had. Yes, parasites love the night hours, and that's exactly why our body is trying to tell us something then. Sign number 6 is joint and muscle pain. And yes, those parasites, they do cause inflammation in our body, and a lot of times that's what happens. Our body starts aching, and we need to address these issues because our body never cries with no reason. And sign number 7 is food cravings with the mind of their own. And that could be us getting hungry and feeling hungry all the time, or having this sugar craving, and that's parasites really hijacking our brain and making us crave food. And of course they also steal those nutrients, and our body is trying to digest, and then these parasites, they live in our small intestine and they steal everything. They attach to our intestinal walls, and they're feasting on our nutrients. Another question I often have from my clients is, where are the parasites coming from originally? And a lot of them actually live in our body for 20-30 years, and that might sound really crazy, but that's how they are. And some of them could be 15 meters long. This is a crazy thing but it is possible. And of course they're coming from our pets, because pets, they are everywhere. They lick each other's butts and then we kiss them, and here they are giving us their parasites. It could be from eating sushi, it could be from eating steak, anything other than well done. It could be just meats, pork, chicken, unwashed fruits and vegetables, working in the garden, swimming in the river, swimming in the ocean, fingernail biting. Kids easily pick them up on playgrounds. There are so many sources. As I was editing my video, I noticed my microphone died and I lost sound, but of course, the good news is that I can add this other part, and that's the best news of the video, is what are those natural remedies that we can always implement in our lives so we could protect our body, so we could get rid of the nasty parasites. And among the most popular ones are wormwood extract, black walnut hull, clove, pumpkin seeds, oregano oil, and garlic. And those are the things that we can add to our daily diet. But with the so many supplements out there in the world right now that are for parasite cleanses, and I've been researching this topic very thoroughly recently, and I got lots of different supplements and liquids and tinctures. And what I noticed is that with the parasite products, it's either hit or miss. And even though, you know, I believe that some of those products are good, but just for me, they were not very effective, because when I found the really good product that included all those good remedies and more, and the result that I saw was so effective. And with the parasite clean supplements, it's easy to see the result, right? When, let's say, regular supplements we're taking, I don't know, vitamin D, and we cannot really measure, does it work? Is it empty capsule that's been filled with rice flour, or is it a real capsule, right? With the parasite cleans, you can absolutely see the result, because, well, first of all, I always recommend to investigate in your toilet. Yes, might sound gross, but it is a necessary step to know that the product is effective. And I found, of course, this effective 100% natural product that includes all these good remedies and includes more Indian Ayurvedic remedies that are so well balanced to our doshas, which are the energies, and that's why they're so well tolerated by our body. And the kit, and it's a whole kit, right? It's not just one bottle. It's a kit with 4 different products, and it's very easy to take it with an instruction sheet, and it takes only 5 days around the full moon. What I noticed about this particular product is that it is effective. I saw evident result in me, in my family, my kids, my mom, my clients, and it makes me feel so great when, besides me feeling great, and once again, my only symptom that I had was that I really had a bad sleep. I could wake up in the middle of the night, of every night, and then struggle to fall back asleep. And I cannot be happier of how good I sleep right now. And of course, my kids, my son, he doesn't have the allergy anymore. That is all related, because the histamine, the inflammation and processes that are happening in our body when those parasites release those nasty toxins, that's when our body tries to find, our immune system tries to fight it and releases those histamines, and this whole thing gets disbalanced, and that's why we have these allergies. And I was so glad to see that he doesn't. And I mean, clean face, cleared out skin, rashes that disappearing in people, digestive issues that get fixed, weight loss that happens, and it's all are the good side effects. Great sleep, more energy, and it's just wonderful. So when you find this product, you keep it. And that's what I did. I registered with the company as a practitioner, as a health coach, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I am going to be doing gathering a small group of people every full moon, and that's when it's recommended to take the product. It takes only 5 days, and it's very easy. You don't need to take days off. You don't need to do anything special really, besides small little changes, and just to make sure you take those supplements. And those supplements I really highly recommend to get from the company and not from any third-party provider, because you never know what happens there. And getting anywhere else, there is always a risk that the good product was taken out and was filled up with the rice capsules that will never give you any result. And also another important point to mention here is that when we do the parasite cleanse, it is very important to detox, right? And to have a binder that helps our body to flush all those heavy metals and toxins and waste product of parasites, because when they die, they will resist, and that's where all these things get flushed in our system. And it's very important to escort all of it out nicely. And the kit includes the wonderful biotoxin binder that will take care of our intestinal tract and also take care of our cellular detox, which is so wonderful. And it includes bioactive carbon and fulvic acids that are taking care of all the detox. So you will not feel those die-off symptoms. You will not be achy and fevery and just feeling horrible. And that's a great thing. So you really don't need to step out of your way to do the cleanse. I recommend to do the cleanse at least twice, because parasites have their own life cycle. We want to take care of the pesky parasites and their eggs and everything that hatches, and that's why we're doing it at least 2 full moon cycles. And I would recommend to go with even 3. And the kit includes enough product to have 3 good full moon cleanses. So that's a good news. Another thing I would recommend to pay attention to is how we eat after the cleanse, right? We should keep supporting our body, and fermented foods come in very handy, things like kimchi, sauerkraut. And I actually have a recipe of how to make your own homemade sauerkraut, and I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video. You can watch that video and see how easy it is, but you bringing such a benefit to your body, because fermented foods, they are wonderful for good bacteria, and they bring more probiotics and prebiotic, which is a food for probiotics. So your body is going to feel so wonderful, your digestive system is going to feel so well, and just in general, everything, your body will be so happy and so thankful. So in description of this video, I will leave some contact information from me, my WhatsApp, my Instagram, my TikTok. My website is glowingbodyandmind.com, where you can book a small session to answer all your questions, and the session will be free when the purchase of the product. Once again, I want to mention that it's important to order straight from the company instead of third party, which some third parties sell that online, and I don't know about the quality. They might have a good product, they might not. And in the comments, if you will, I would love to see some questions, some feedback, anything else you want to add. And I would like everyone to join for our next full moon cleanse. I'll be doing them every month. It takes only 5 days around the full moon. Make sure you order your product on time. It takes about a week to get delivered. Just in case there is a shortage, it's the best thing to order the earliest. And get ready for next cleanse. Get ready for exciting result. And that will be all for today. I will see you very soon.